country is if you have children born out of wedlock and the mother is becoming a citizen today, yes. But if the father is becoming a citizen today, it does not necessarily work. There's one thing, maybe we have a little discrimination. I don't say discrimination, but maybe I would say discrimination. Why did you don't give the father the right to pass on citizenship to a child, but they do it to the mother? I don't know. Maybe so along the way they'll have to change that law. It's not like they've changed some others. If you have one parent and there's a divorce, the parent that has custody can derive citizenship if the child is living with that parent. It's not, it's another story. Okay? When you talked about anything else. Yes, you can take photographs, but maybe when the judge is speaking, maybe not so much. But he will come down and hand the certificate to you if he wants. You want to stop the judge and say, I want a photograph of my family, they will allow that, okay? Just let us know that you need a photograph. Okay? Any questions?
Further, I would ask As you heard Ms. Sears say, there are 69 new citizens today, and there are 33 countries represented. Let me read the countries to you. Syria, Jamaica, Guyana, Russia, Ukraine, Macedonia, Vietnam, Albania, Germany, Hungary, Italy, Poland, Portugal, Sweden, People's Republic of China, India, Iran, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Uruguay, Korea, Lebanon, Pakistan, Canada, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Peru, Philippines, Haiti, Costa Rica, Guatemala, and Nicaragua. You know, we have a motto. The motto of the United States is a Latin phrase, and it's E pluribus unum. For those of you who are old enough so that you took Latin when you were in school, they don't teach Latin anymore, unfortunately. It means from many, one. And when you see that we have 33 countries here and 69 people, I had naturalization this morning, and there were 66 people this morning from 31 countries, you can see what the motto of the United States means. From many, one. From all these countries, now one people, we're all Americans. I have a custom that I always try to invite as a guest speaker somebody who himself or herself is a naturalized citizen. And today we're fortunate to have a young lady who is the wife of someone who used to be one of my law clerks, and I've known her for many years. And I would like to introduce to you now Dilari Holly. Dilari?
Thank you, Judge Nevis, for after I displayed political and religious persecution, but certainly all were present because they believed that their hopes and dreams and the hopes and dreams of their children would come true. People often say a convert to a religion appreciates it more than the person born into a particular faith. The convert has made a conscious choice to serve to be naturalized citizens. Sometimes the contrast between our both nations and the United States can be rather stark. A dictatorship versus a democracy, a starving nation versus the richest and the most powerful country on earth. In situations like these, the view of the United States is quite clear. But there are situations like mine when it's hard to change citizenship psychologically. When my non-naturalized friends believe I come from Fiji Islands, tropical country in the South Pacific with snowless winters, low crime rates, little pollution, balmy trade winds, they look at me like I was crazy to leave. And every February, bitter cold February, I start to think the same. Except for my husband, all my family was in Fiji when I came to the United States. I know we all live in a global village, but still it's a long distance from Fiji to the United States. Leaving Fiji and becoming an American citizen, I'm glad to say, was not an easy thing for me to do psychologically, but I knew it was the right choice. My husband and I met when we were serving in the Peace Corps. One of the primary principles of the Peace Corps, or the third goal, is to bring the war back home. I, too, as a naturalized citizen, have the duty to bring the war, at least a piece of it, to the attention of Americans. In your communities, you each have opportunities to enlighten people with your cultural backgrounds. I found most people very receptive to such information, which can only generate great understanding and peace among us. Last year, when my daughter Monica was in 3rd grade, a teacher used immigration as a theme throughout the school year for several courses such as writing and social studies. The students read one book in particular that brought home to me the impact of being a citizen of the United States. The book detailed the difficult fathers to their homeland and coming with changing the titles to non-certain future and a floating land. Monica was somewhat disheartened that I had not come to the United States after a few weeks in the steerage of a ship, but only after an 8-hour ride in the Compass 747. She was also disheartened that I had not spent days or weeks at Ellis Island, but only a few hours at Hawaii before taking a connecting flight to Los Angeles. But the point of the book was not lost on Monica and I, that though my ride to the U.S. was rapid and uneventful, that the psychological journey was quite difficult. Jeff Davis has already explained to you the burdens and benefits of being citizens in the United States. The benefits are numerous, but we cannot forget that citizenship is a privilege, not a right, and like all privileges, it should be exercised responsibly. Take time to get involved in the many issues facing the United States. Your view on politics, for example, in the form of your roles, counts the same as every other American. Today you came in the courtroom world as representative of many different countries and cultural heritages. You live with those cultural heritages intact, but as citizens ready to add his or her unique talents to the American heritage. I congratulate all of you, your friends and family, on this momentous day, and I wish you the best of luck as my fellow citizens. My family and I wish you a happy holiday. Also, please remember in your thoughts and prayers our fellow Americans who will be serving in Bosnia as in a peacekeeping mission there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joy, for those wonderful words of welcome. Just a few words in closing. I always like to read from an article, an op-ed piece from the New York Times a few years ago, written by a man named A.M. Rosenthal, who at one time was an editor of the New York Times. And he wrote these words: "The United States is the best country in the world. In America, you are free to become anything you want. The only person who can stop you is you. You can say what you want, pray as you want, or don't want. The police will never bother you unless you break the law. So don't break it. In America, if you want to work, you can make a living. Only America gives you all these things. God blesses this great land." Those are wonderful words, and I hope that you will all remember them. Laurie mentioned the responsibilities of citizenship, and the responsibilities of citizenship are many. And one of the most important is the responsibility to vote. And it is a responsibility. As I look down the list of the countries represented here today, I see many, many countries where the right to vote is either does not exist, or if it does exist, it's a sham. It's meaningless. And the elections are meaningless. So many of you coming from countries like that have never really experienced the right or the ability to vote in a free election, where you don't have policemen standing next to the voting booths telling you what to do. And anyone who can qualify is on the ballot, and you can vote in the secrecy of the voting booth for anyone you wish to vote for. But you can't vote unless you're registered to vote. So for those 69 of you who have become citizens today, I want you to promise me that one of the first things you're going to do next week, or the week after, is take this certificate that you're going to be handed in 2 minutes and go to the town hall or the city hall of this town in which you live, and go to the town clerk's office or the registrar of voters, present your certificate and say, I am a citizen and I want to register to vote. So that next November, when we will be voting for the state legislature and members of Congress and other elected offices, you will be able to vote. For some of you, I would imagine, for the first time in your lives, in this re-election. That's a great privilege. And there are too many Americans who are native-born who don't vote. Who don't vote. Don't put yourselves in that category. Please register to vote. Present to vote. We're going to end the ceremony with all of us, new citizens and old citizens, standing, facing the flag, and reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You receive your certificate. If you wish to leave, you can do so. Alex, Mark, and Elton. Rosalina Yanko Inarao.
Oh, there.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Okay.
My
Great.
goodness, no flash?
Thank you very much. No, this is video.
Oh Nagyon hó. És a szemüvegemet